What's up, gamers? Today we are going to be in the good old reliable T54 heat. It's called that, and you'll see why. But the video is a bit late. Wargaming have a terrible replay system, and it took me 24 hours to try and download the old version just to get this replay to work. That deserves a subscribe, and a like, and a comment down below. And if you don't have anything to say in the comments, just leave an emoji. Good old brawling medium tank. As usual, I'll stick timestamps down below, so if you want to skip talking a bit, you can just jump straight into the gameplay. But first off, before anybody does that, I've got the accuracy gun on. I don't have the DPM gun. So there are two guns that are very viable. I ended up getting my second mark on this before we finished for the Object 140. So you have these two guns. They are both viable. As you can see, I have this one on the D4. And this is the DPM one. So you have 219 pen with the more accurate one, but you have 2.2k DPM, whereas the other one you have 2.5. But obviously on the other one is 0.33 accuracy, 0.39 accuracy. You might have DPM, but you might not necessarily hit everything because 0.39 can be quite bad. Now I've got Tanks GG over here with the DPM gun on. So this gives me 0.31. This is how I have my tank, and in fact I don't have my old crew in here. Let me just put my crew back into here. Okay, this is my crew. I'm at 0.3, and I'm up to 2,748 DPM. So 2.7k. That's pretty good. I'm not, nothing wrong with that. Great hull armor, 120. If you can get some good angles on this, you can kind of stick it out a bit, and people will bounce. I've had loads of bounce. Extremely strong turret. Obviously, 2 weak points. As always, there's always weak points. Well, on the old tanks there is, not on so much the new ones. Good speed, good mobility, good engine. I've got maximum spotting on it now with how I have my crew. Situational, recon, brothers in arms. Pretty good. I haven't got any camo crew on it. I haven't bothered. I like to brawl in this. But because it's such a hold down meta, I kind of find myself, what's the word? Having to snipe cupolas, so that's kind of why I go for the upper one, the more accurate. But if you did want the other one, and you want the DPM gun on, it would go down to 0.36 dispersion, which is still pretty good. 0.36 if you're getting in close range, and your DPM goes from 2,748 to 3,156. I'm going to show you my last game in the T54 ever. I haven't played it since that game. This is the one that got me the Object 140. Okay, if you've just skipped past all the jabbery, this is the T54 heat. I shall keep calling it that, as this one's not so bad. It does have 219 pen with the more accurate gun, which is another reason I do play with the more accurate gun. Less gold. But you do get 330 heat for when you need it. So the T54 has pretty decent DPM without the DPM gun. It's at about 2.7k. So I'm going to take it to the E5 area. You've got good mobility. Look at this. Top speed, 55. And you can sort of power up hills as well. I mean, we're keeping up with a Hellcat, a G-Saw, even almost the light tank. Okay, so their light tank has gone to the middle, and he has got spotted. We want to... Our light tank's going to spot. There we go. Our light tank has spotted for us. And I want to push in and try and get a shot on any of these tanks that are now crossing, and we spot the T54 100 as well. So we stick one into the side of the pattern tank. Now all I'm doing is exposing the top of the cupola here, basically, and the turret armor, which, unless I can hit the cupola on the move, which is it's just bad luck if not. As you can see, he can't really pen me unless he hits me in that weak spot on the cupola. Now the TNH is obviously a good tank as well, but 1200 damage already. We see the AMX M4, he's pushing. Now we're just controlling this entire middle. If you can control this middle, 308 damage. Now you can see the DPM is doing extremely well. Obviously, there's no arty in this game, so I don't have to kind of watch as much as I normally would. And see that. This is where I realize he's pushing him. I don't like to be a dick, so I do kind of leave him. But then I'm just like, okay, he's going to shoot me as well. He'll... yeah, just leave him to get on with it. We'll take a shot from the leather. Not too fast. He hits me quite low, 278. But we have now been hit twice. One with a pattern tank, 423 damage. So we're sort of a below half health. We do manage to bounce another one. Now it's all about just kind of controlling this mid area, not let anyone peek. No one peeking over there. As you can see, the center meal's obviously got that fed up that we're controlling the middle. He's actually pushing up because we're doing such a good job that in 2 minutes we're up to 2.4k damage. So this is my last ever game I've played in T54. I haven't actually played it since. I've got my second marks, which I believe I had on here. Yep. Now we're just kind of waiting for the game to develop. We don't want to peek out too much because, yes, of this leather. And we unfortunately take one. Yeah, as you can see, let me undo this. Right here. There is like a, you can overmatch this spot here and here with certain caliber guns, which I can actually check extremely quickly. It'll be 90mm or bigger. So if you're against a T54, hold down, shoot it just above the gun with a 90 caliber gun or bigger, and you will penetrate every single time. Okay, standard B, and again, that's 2 shots we managed to take out. Well, we didn't take out, but someone else took out the Teenage and the standard B. Now you gotta be careful of is there are 4 TDs, and I'm going to assume, I will always assume they are all up there. Yep, we get spotted, so we stick one into the T103. That's kind of the only one I'm actually worried about. The Jag Panther, a little, but not entirely. Now we stick another one into him. Beautiful roll, 330. As you can see, our last hit's been 316, 312, 300, 331. Now you can see why. This is why I have the accuracy gun. We're down at 0.3 accuracy in a Russian tank, medium tank, without vertical stabilizers. We don't have vertical stabilizers on this tank. He missed. And we stick another one into him. 4.6k of damage. We see the IKV, he is legging it. There is obviously a T25-2 up there. Now if we had aimed that a little bit better, we probably could have got it and got him into the lower plate, which we can do now. There you go. That's what I was telling you about the hull armor. You can get it on an angle, bait someone to shoot it. This is the only problem with T54. That gun depression. Okay, so we know that we're going to reload faster than he is. And we stick one into him. And we finish him off. That is also the mission complete. We see the T25-2. We're going to try and get one into him. And we're in again. 5.4k. You can actually see we've bounced 1700 damage, which I don't think is that bad, to be fair. I don't think that's bad at all. Couldn't quite get the pixel snipe. We see the Pantera. We swap. We aim in on him. Go for the tracking shot. Didn't get the tracking shot. But that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, so there's only 3 left. I've got 600 HP. It's only the Malshan that would be able to do anything to me, really. The others aren't going to kill me quick enough. We're going to use the mobility, push down, get in close, and try and see if we can get that 6k damage mark. So the Pantera has fired, so, and he's out. Don't think we're going to quite get that 6k with what's left on the board. 500, no, 200, it's impossible now. But we do take him out. We are at 5,995. So, all in all, about 6.5k combined. And guess what? Not one heat round was fired, but we was top tier. So, I'm going to add in another gameplay. But I'll jump to the post-game stats quickly. Okay, so these are the post-game stats for that first game and my last ever game in the T54. We finished with 5.1k XP. We got Mastery Badge, obviously got Confederate, High Caliber, and Tank Sniper. So showing you the accuracy of that gun is pretty decent. We ended up with 5,995 damage, so there was no blind, and 575. So 6.5k combined altogether. 2 kills. The back chat, or the Borask, did extremely well. We managed to do 24 shots, 23 of them hit, and 20 penned. And some of them were those just last tracking shots and stuff on the on that leather. So we only took 8 hits and only 3 penned, and 8 didn't pen. So it was a 1700 block. So all in all, extremely strong showing for the tank to show that even though it's a really old tank in the game, it's still up there as one of the best, I would say. We weren't really phased by any of these tanks. We kind of took them out and controlled them. The TNH and the pattern, we wiped those out. So let's jump into the second game. Okay, so we're into the second game. I want to kind of show you how the T54 fares in a more brawling sort of playstyle, where it's up close and personal with things like Tiger Mouses and AMX 5120s. Okay, so we're going to head straight to where the heavies are. I want to take my 330 heat, and I want to try to take out those Tiger Mouses. So we do have a Concept 1B, which is going to definitely help. They're obviously... Yep, good driving. Let's get around there. Okay, so we see the Skodas, the AMX. That strange bug where it's got one of those auto-fed shooter things from the Italian line. So they're not pushing any, so I want to get underneath the gun line. I can see the Tiger Mouse there, and we have heat ready because we're not getting through him any other way. Poor shot. Rush shot, but you know, we sort of have to... You're going to have to do those shots. You're not going to want to take damages from these things. Now, if he's actually going to peek all the way up, we can reverse and shoot it through his turret, which is what we're doing. But you do need to hit the lower part of his turret and not the upper, because it is angled like a half moon sort of thing. As you can see, we're getting a bit unlucky with how far he wants to come up, and as soon as he does come up, we can stick one into him. Now you can only sit here if you are not going to be spotted via the middle. If someone is in the middle, they can shoot you in from the side. So I see nobody is currently in the middle, and so I'm not too fussed. We get a little bit lucky there with the shot, and obviously he does kind of go straight through us. Like, he's not going to struggle with us. As you can see, he goes straight for the side of the tank. Now I'm keeping an eye on that 5120, as he's a very dangerous tank in the sense of he'll come and clip you for a bunch of damage and then just leave. We see him, we put one into him first. Okay, he's out. So the potential of just dying like in a snap of the fingers in 4 or 5 seconds is over. Now we could have shot there, we could have shot through his side, but the only thing I do want to do is shoot through that side with heat, and they get eaten by his tracks, because that's what happens with heat. It doesn't like you can't shoot through tracks basically with high explosive anti-tank rounds. Now we actually decide, right, repositioning here, I'm going to go for the middle and I go around them. So you're just going to check in, just checking if there's anybody there. No, no one's there. Right, so I'm going to push in behind them, because pushing 2 Tiger Mouses and a Bazonte and a 703 is extremely hard. Like, yes, we've got some good tanks, but we've only got a Concept, a WZ, standard being a T54. They've got 2 super heavy tanks and 2 really good premium tanks. So I'm going to push in behind him. Most people are not very aware. Please do watch your map. Look how close I get to this guy before he even knows I'm there. Now he knows I'm there. But I already know I can shoot him in the back and set his fuel tanks on light. And we set that one. Fire him again. 439 damage by fire. Right, now we're into the side of these guys. And I just want to add as well, this is still the accuracy gun, but with the accuracy gun, you get 1 less degrees of gun depression, I believe. I think you get 5 degrees of gun depression with this one. 6 with the DPM one. Okay, so I'm going for the tier 9 here, as you do get more XP for tier 9s, but he's also the more dangerous tank. And obviously now he's the one left. He just fires straight through his upper plate because he's angled down, so it's going to be near on not effective at all. I swapped to HE here, and this is poor. That's, yeah, that's not a shot you want to be doing. I don't really take many high explosive rounds here. But, that's better. Hit him for 373. He's found out where we are, and we fire. Slow shell velocity, though. Should we have a look at the shell velocity in this? It is 1,015. So, it's not too slow. It's over 1,000. So, I like to think over 1,000 is about the barrier. If it's below that, we're kind of getting into the really like poor stages. And I can't emphasize how important your HP is. Like, obviously it's the way to being alive, but staying alive to this point in the game is where you're going to get all the damage. So this is obviously still a good game. It's 2,790 damage, but there's still 8.4k and we're actually behind. Okay, a little bit less now with 349. Find that artillery. And, oh dear, there's another one. Now, I didn't realise. He's actually got an extremely powerful front. Look, it wants to bounce as soon as he angles it there. 2 straightens it, and then I can fire straight through. Yeah, apparently. So, it'd be a nice armour model to take a look at. So we're already up, we've already done another 1,000. Still 6.4k damage left. Still want to keep pressing on him. And this is a very good tank at side scraping. You can side scrape really, really well in this. Which I do actually have another game, which I might do another video on another time, on side scraping with the T54, medium tanks, things like that. We'll have to see. But I wanted to keep pushing, get as close as I possibly can, and stick one into the IS-5. He should have really been up there with the heavy tanks. He's got decent hull armor. I think he's got a very good turret as well. But we know he's there. He didn't spot us because we went through his viewports to go past. Now, obviously, we're doing a lot better now. We do have more tanks than they do. It's 11-6. Okay, we're even better now. We find the Leopard BTA. Let's stick another one into him. Up to 4 kills, 4,195 damage, 600 assistance. Now, I know that the IS-5 has pretty good hull armor. It's about 300 millimeters in some places. So we just load one of these heat rounds in, fire straight through him because I don't want to have to aim. And then there's the left BTA. We don't need heat for him, so just to save money, I just reload as he's not going to peek. But we fire into him. We want the 6 kills, so we take the ram. 4,834 damage. So, you know, we're pushing on about 5.5k combined again, but 6 kills. So, let's jump over into those post-game stats. Okay, so those are the post-game stats for the T54 in Berlin. 4,834 damage in the end with 884 assistance with 6 kills. We ended up killing the Object 703, who we flanked around behind, the IS-5 at the end, the Leopard VTA at the end. We killed the artillery, the Skoda T56, we shot straight through the upper plate as it was angled, and we killed one of the Tiger Mousers. That's a mastery badge, 4.4k and 80k credits. We come at the top by nearly double. Not quite double, but for a medium tank, I think we did our job. Considering the Concept 1B and the WZ didn't even mount up to what we got, really, at all. 6 kills is obviously you can never thing. 1,468 base. Another 24 shots fired. 18 hits there. 15 pens. Obviously we were firing a lot more. And this is where the name T54 Heat comes in. Because you do have to fire heat at pretty much any of those slightly above heavy tank sort of armor. So the Tiger Mouse, yes. Depending on how the 703, if it's hold down, you need to shoot for its turret, yes. That was that. The IS-5, yes. T56, yes. But obviously, and the Bazonte, yes. But then you're also firing heat. So if you're firing heat at their turrets, they've got spaced armor, it's no good. So you're going to have to flank them, which is ended what I did. I only made 19k because we had to fire a lot of heat rounds, and they are expensive. Very expensive. But if you go all the way to the end of the video, go into the comments and stick an explosion emoji down there just so I know you've got to the end. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.